Come on, what's the worst that could happen? The coach laughed as the gym echoed with the rhythmic thuds of gloves hitting mats and the sound of laughter bouncing off the walls. The air was thick with energy, pride, and sweat, until one careless joke changed everything. Hey, let's see if the cleaning lady can fight, someone shouted. The crowd burst into laughter. Phones were raised, smirks spread, and all eyes turned toward the woman quietly sweeping in the corner. No one knew that by the end of the day, the entire gym would fall silent, and the name Maria Alvarez would never be forgotten. It was a regular afternoon at Titan Martial Arts Academy. Maria, a woman in her mid-40s, moved quietly between the mats with her mop and bucket, her back slightly bent but her movements graceful and precise. To the students, she was just background noise, the woman who appeared after they left, tidying up the chaos they left behind. But behind that faded uniform and gentle demeanor was a story no one knew. Before life took everything from her, before her husband's death, the loss of her home, and years of hardship, Maria had once been a martial arts instructor herself, a brown belt who had devoted her life to teaching discipline and heart over aggression. That day, Jason, the Hurricane, Carter, the gym's undefeated black belt, was showing off again. He was talented, fast, and arrogant, the kind of fighter who loved the cheers more than the craft. During a break, his eyes caught Maria sweeping near the wall. "Hey, Miss Mop," he called out with a smirk. "You ever fight, or just clean up after those who do?" The room filled with laughter. Even the coach chuckled uneasily. Maria froze for a moment but didn't look up. Jason grinned wider, sensing the attention. "Tell you what," he continued, "one round with me. If you can touch me, I'll clean the mats for a week. If not, you clean them twice as hard." More laughter. Maria turned slowly, her eyes calm but steady. "And if I win?" she asked quietly. Jason raised an eyebrow, amused. "If you win? Fine, you can have my black belt." The gym fell into stunned silence. Jason slipped on his gloves, still grinning. "Don't worry," he said mockingly, "I'll take it easy." Maria placed her mop aside, straightened up, and walked to the mat. She bowed, a small, respectful gesture that made a few people shift uncomfortably. There was something in the way she bowed, something real. She took her stance. It wasn't perfect, but it was confident. Jason bounced on his feet, cocky and relaxed. When the whistle blew, he lunged forward with a playful jab, and missed. She moved lightly, almost effortlessly. Another jab, another miss. Jason frowned, attacking faster, but Maria slipped through every strike, calm as still water. Then, without warning, she countered, a swift turn, a clean sweep, and in one perfect motion, Jason hit the mat with a thud that silenced the room. Gasps echoed through the gym. Maria stepped back, bowed again, and said softly, "Never underestimate someone who has already fought harder battles than you ever will." Jason sat up, stunned. The coach stared. "Maria," he asked, "where did you learn that?" She gave a small smile. "Before I cleaned floors," she said, "I taught children how to stand after they fell." The video spread through the gym and beyond. By the next week, everyone was talking about the cleaning lady who dropped the black belt. Some laughed, others were amazed, but Jason couldn't shake the moment. His pride had been bruised, yes, but what hurt more was the realization that he'd mocked someone who had far more strength than he'd ever known. A few days later, Jason found Maria cleaning the mats again. "You were amazing," he said awkwardly. "Were you really a teacher?" "I was," she replied quietly. "Would you teach me?" he asked, the words barely leaving his mouth. From that day on, Jason began training with Maria every morning before classes. There were no cameras, no audience, just him, her, and the sound of their breath and movement. She retrained him from the core, teaching not aggression, but balance. Not dominance, but discipline. He began to understand that real martial arts was about respect, not reputation. Over the months, Jason changed. The arrogance faded. He became calmer, more focused, more human. The coach noticed. The students noticed. Sometimes, after training, he even helped Maria clean the mats. Then came the tournament, the biggest of the year. Jason faced a visiting champion known for brutal knockouts. The crowd was loud, the lights bright. The first 2 rounds were tough. Jason was hit hard, but he stayed standing. Between rounds, Maria stood at the edge of the mat and whispered, "Remember, strength isn't in the strike. It's in the stillness before it." Jason nodded. When the final round began, he breathed deeply, watching, waiting, then moved with precision. One perfect counter, a sweep, and his opponent hit the mat. The crowd erupted in cheers. Jason had won. But instead of raising his fists, he turned toward Maria, bowed deeply, and held out his black belt. "This belongs to you," he said. "You reminded me what martial arts truly means." Maria smiled, shaking her head. "No," she said. "It belongs to the man who learned to respect others." The crowd fell silent, many with tears in their eyes. From that day, Maria was no longer the cleaning lady. She became Sensei Maria. Her classes filled with people eager to learn not just how to fight, but how to rise. She taught them courage, patience, and humility. That true strength isn't about power or belts, but about getting up every time life knocks you down. And long after the lights dimmed and the crowd went home, the lesson remained: sometimes the strongest person in the room isn't the one wearing the black belt, but the one who quietly taught everyone what it really means to be strong.